The high water mark of the Confederacy or high tide of the Confederacy refers to an area on Cemetery Ridge near Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, marking the farthest point reached by Confederate forces during Pickett's charge on July 3, 1863. Similar to a high water mark of water, the term is a reference to arguably the Confederate Army's best chance of achieving victory in the war. The line of advance was east of the Engel Stone Wall. This designation was invented by government historian John B. Batchelder after the war when the monuments of the Gettysburg battlefield were being erected. Some historians have argued that the battle was the turning point of the war and that this was the place that represented the Confederacy's last major offensive operation in the Eastern Theater. On the third day of the battle, July 3, 1863, General Robert E. Lee of the Confederate States Army ordered an attack on the Union Army Center, located on Cemetery Ridge. This offensive maneuver called for almost 12,500 men to march over 1,000 yards, 900 meters, of dangerously open terrain. Preceded by a massive, but mostly ineffective Confederate artillery barrage, the march across open fields toward the Union lines became known as Pickett's Charge. Major General George Pickett was one of 3 division commanders under the command of Lieutenant General James Longstreet, but his name has been popularly associated with the assault. Union guns and infantry on Cemetery Ridge opened fire on the advancing men, inflicting a 50% casualty rate on the Confederate ranks. One of Pickett's brigade commanders was Brig General Lewis Armistead. His men were able to breach the Union lines in just one place, a bend in the wall that has become known as the Angle. This gap in the Union line was hastily closed, with any Confederate soldiers who had breached it being quickly captured or killed, including Armistead. Lee's Army of Northern Virginia retreated the next day, leaving Gettysburg for Virginia. Even though the war lasted almost another 2 years, Lee launched few offensive operations during that time, none of them near the scale of the Gettysburg campaign. The monument to the high water mark of the rebellion is south of Gettysburg at the eastern edge of the copse of trees. Hancock Avenue Part 3 tour map. The Gettysburg Battlefield Memorial Association dedicated the monument in 1892. It is in the form of a giant bronze book open to display 2 pages which list the units of both sides that took part in Longstreet's assault on July 3, 1863. The book stands on a stone base set with tablets. From the tablet on the front of the monument, commands honored, in recognition of the patriotism and gallantry displayed by their respective troops who met or assisted to repulse Longstreet's assault. The following states have contributed to erect this tablet: Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Delaware, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Ohio, Michigan, and Maine. From the left side of the book, high watermark of the rebellion. This copse of trees was the landmark toward which Longstreet's assault was directed July 3, 1863. The assaulting column was composed of Kemper's, Garnett's, and Armistead's brigades of Pickett's division, Archer's Davis's, Pettigrew's and Brockenbrough's brigades of Haight's division, and Scales and Lane's brigades of Pender's division, supported on the right by Wilcox and Perry's brigades of Anderson's division, on the left by Thomas's and McGowan's brigades of Pender's division, and assisted by the following artillery: Cabell's battalion, consisting of Manley's, Fraser's, McCarthy's, and Carleton's batteries; Alexander's battalion, Woolfolk's, Jordan's, Gilbert's, Moody's, Parker's and Taylor's batteries; Eshelman's battalion, Squire's, Richardson's, Miller's and Norcom's batteries; Deering's battalion, Stribling's, Caskey's, Macon's and Blunt's batteries; Cutt's battalion, Ross's, Patterson's and Wingfield's batteries; Hogue's battalion, Wyatt's, Graham's, Ward's and Brooks batteries; Pegram's battalion, Mac Cross, Zimmerman's, Bradder's, Mary's and Crenshaw battery; McIntosh's battalion, Rice's, Hertz, Wallace's and Johnson's batteries; Carter's battalion, Reese's, Carter's, Page's and Fry's batteries; Brown's battalion, Watson's, Smith, Brown's battalion, Watson's, Smith. From the right side of the book, repulse of Longstreet's assault. Longstreet's assault was repulsed by Webb's, Hall's and Harrow's brigades of Gibbon's division 2nd Army Corps, Smith's and Willard's brigades and portions of Carroll Brigade of Hayes Division 2nd Army Corps, and the 1st Massachusetts Sharpshooters, unattached, portions of Rowley's and Stannard's brigades of Doubleday's Division 1st Army Corps, Hazard's 2nd Corps Artillery Brigade, consisting of Woodruff's, Arnold's, Cushing's, Brown's and Rorty's batteries, assisted on the right by Hill's, Edgell's, Eakin's, Bencroft's, Dilger's and Taft's batteries on Cemetery Hill, and on the left by Cowan's, Fitzhugh's, Parsons, Wheeler's, Thomas's, Daniels and Sterling's batteries in McGilvery's artillery brigade consisting of Thompson's, Phillips, Hart's, Cooper's, Dow's, and Ames batteries, and by Hazlitt's battery on Little Round Top, and supported by Doubleday's division of the 1st Army Corps, which was in position on the immediate left of the troops assaulted. The 3rd Army Corps moved up to within supporting distance on the left, and Robinson's division of the 1st Army Corps moved into position to support the right.